for my dimension rules, there's 6. A lot of books will have like 2 pages of rules. And I boiled them all down to 6. And if the placement isn't really a rule, it's just kind of how to decide. But these are the kind of the most important things. So rules 1 through 3 can never be broken. Rules 4, 5, and 6 you kind of break in a ascending way, but try not to break number 4 unless you really, really have to. Usually I'd make another view before I break rule 4. But there's sometimes that you just have to do it. So when I'm talking about this, so what's over-dimensioning?
Like, anywhere.
Flies from a different angle.
Yeah, so put this back to... So if I had... Either it's 2-inch dimension, 2 different places, that's over-dimensioned. Or if I had all 3 of these dimensions here, that's over-dimensioned. So
yeah, so like
both count. So don't have too many dimensions. Have enough to cover everything, but don't have the one that's not needed. But also don't duplicate dimensions. So that's what over-dimension is. Don't dimension hidden lines. So don't do this. Because that's a hidden feature. Some people do that. Not good. Not necessarily against the rules, but if I wanted to do this for some reason, how could I make that not be hidden lines? Section view. If I just did section like that, now it's not a hidden line. Now I can do that just fine. Now I could throw that center line in here and dimension from the center line to that corner. Now it's okay. Because I'm in a section and that thing's not hidden. I'm looking at it. Okay,
Also,
same thing, like I
there's 2
wouldn't
options.
dimension this at all here. Yeah.
Need to add right? With a little cut.
For this?
For the overall, you would need to dimension.
Yeah, that part's not finished yet. But I could, yeah. But see, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Sorry.
So yeah, nope. So perfect. I don't want to dimension how deep this cut is. I could do a back view because it's hidden here, so maybe I need the back view. But I could also do what? Broken out section. Click here. And actually make that so it's going to show the cutoff area. And for the cut point, it's not nice. Yeah. So it's this. I was trying to get in to see where that cut was, but not really working with me. So yeah. Come on. Like that. Yeah.
Do you tilt down?
Yeah,
or?
you have to.
Okay.
In other programs, you can actually just like drag it. Like you pick a point, it'll go to that point. But that's not one to behave. So I'll go here and I'll just turn off the headlines there. So now I can see that clear. In that case, probably don't need this view here. I'll just stay with those two views. And then I'll just dimension it here. So I dimension the width and the height here, the depth of the cut there, or how much material is left, whatever's. So yeah, so because of that cut, it changed what views I used. Yeah. No, because it's still cutting down. And so the broken out view needs to have a squiggly outline. But where exactly that is up to you. Yeah.
Is the line just indicate that it's broken out?
Yep. Yeah, that's what we call a short break line. So remember, going back to the alphabeted lines, there was the long break line, which is this. And then there's a short break line, which is the thick squiggly line. So any other questions on the? Oh, so going back to my rules. So, don't dimension headlines. Every view needs at least one dimension. If you don't have a dimension on the view, there's no point in having the view. The point of views are to add dimensions. And so, if I had the right side view of that thing, once I made the left view just to dimension the width, I didn't need that right side. But I could also dimension the width on the auxiliary view. So if you're going to have the view, put a dimension on it. The only exception to that is if you're using one auxiliary view to make another auxiliary view. So like if you have instead of just an incline, you've got an oblique surface, so it's like cutting off the corner or something. So you have to use two auxiliary views to get to look at that. Then that first view could be just help you get to that second view. We'll talk about that later on. Yeah. And so getting down to the rules here, numbers 4. So don't cross dimension lines. So what's a dimension line? Yeah. What's this line right here? Extension. This one's a dimension. So I can do just let me. Let's say I had this. Extension lines crossing is okay. Extension lines can cross. But don't cross the dimension line. Right? Because I could easily just put that one there and that one there. So, but just don't, even if that text isn't in the way, just don't cross the dimension line. A big kind of commonplace for this is doing things like this. Don't make this text go up there.
Oh.
So you're crossing that dimension line.
Yeah, it has to stay close to what it's dimensioning.
Stick it there. So sometimes that's the thing of how do you get it there to be in clear space without crossing the dimension line. Crossing the extension line though is fine. So doing that, perfectly fine. Because that's an extension line. Just don't do it here. Because now it's crossing the dimension line.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay.
Because we want to be able to take our extension lines, follow them up until we see the arrow, and then go follow it straight across to the text. If there's something in the way, it kind of get mixed up. So cross extension lines, okay. Don't cross dimension lines. Dimension outside the part. So in most cases, we want to be off the part. So the part's here, and we're out of the part. We don't want to put the dimension in the part.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
We want it outside the part, not inside.
Yeah, outside the part. And when you're putting them in, kind of to get points so you can you want to have this little gap right there. But we want to be outside the part. So also, if possible, we want to be outside the envelope. So if I put like that, this one right here is now inside the envelope. It's usually better to be outside the envelope. We want to see the part and then all the dimensions around it. So those are the ones that we can break kind of in order. So sometimes having it closer is better. So remember the H block? I had a dimension right in the middle of it, right? On the part. Because if I did on the outside, the extension line becomes too long and it's hard to follow it back. And so for clarity, first step, put it inside the envelope. If that, to help clear, if it makes it easier to see, sure, do that. But I can't put these both inside because now crossing dimension lines. But I could do one of them, and that's okay. Because maybe that's better than having it all the way out here.
Yeah.
But here, that's fine too.
Easier.
If it was here, having it outside the envelope is better, right? But sometimes if I need to, like if there's a feature right in the middle of the part, having an extension line go all the way off the outside is going to be too long or anything, then it's okay to put it on the part. If it helps clarity. If your parts, you have dimensions on the part, but it doesn't make it more clear, or they're running into other stuff that's inside of the part, you just made it worse.
Gotcha.
Okay, so remember, the main goal of the drawing is always clarity. What makes it more easier to understand, right? That's what we're always going for. So whenever you're doing drawings, put it in, and then move stuff around, and then take a look. Like, is this clear? How can it be better? Yeah.
Can we throw
Yep. I'll add that in. So just if you make a box of the shape. So like on this part, oops. The envelope would be that. That's the envelope. So it's just, if we made a box out of the part, that's the envelope. On that other part that we had last week that was, this one, whatever it was, on that, then the envelope becomes that area.
Oh.
Because now this, and this are all inside the envelope. Kind of the overall, if we made a rectangle out of and enclosed the whole thing, that's the envelope. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
So, anything?
So
The way I
like, he
always do
wants
it is
to do.
I go through, I make all of my views, then I kind of come back through and decide which dimensions I want to put on. I put them there, and then I take a look at it and be like, okay, is that good? Can it be better? And then I'll kind of grab stuff and I'll rearrange a little bit, even it up, make sure that things look nice, maybe adjust my views a little bit.
Oh.
Grab my views, drag them over, make sure this
That's what I
side's
was
back on here,
Okay.
and just kind of bring it over a little bit more. I don't want to be too close, I have them all. Like, yeah, technically I've got all the stuff on the page, right? And they're not crowding each other, but I'm not using the paper very well. So grab this, bring it over here, grab this one, bring it over. Kind of want it centered in the space. But now I can really see what's going on in the part. It's easy to understand. And now I'll go ahead and say, okay, now I can turn this in. Okay? So when you go to turn these in, like double click your mouse wheel to make it kind of full size. Actually, yeah. and then capture the whole thing there. Or we can just,
And that was my question.
yeah,
How could it?
go. And then you just, or you can just one click down on the mouse to make it there. If you go too far, then you can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
So double click your mouse and then just like one click down. And now you can easily grab the whole page. You want all the way out to all the way out.
Yeah.
You can also export a PDF and then tell it to open it and say okay. It's going to ask you where to save it. So save on my computer is going to be checked. You want that, put it somewhere that you can find. So
Yep.
desktop,
Okay.
save it, save. Now it makes it, now it's easy to grab. Where'd that go? Now it's easy to grab a screenshot of this thing. Yeah, and it's the text is all clear and everything. So this might be a good way to just hit the down arrow one. Now I can grab a screenshot of the page.
Perfect.
So actually, yeah, do that. Make it into a PDF and then capture the PDF. Because now all my line weights are right. I have thick lines for my object lines, thin lines for the dimensions, right? Like I'm supposed to have. So I would say do that. And I'll update the instructions on the assignment to tell you to do that. Yep. These little arrows here.
Yeah.
So those are called zones. So on an A size and a B size, they really don't tell you much. But bigger sizes, they'll have like A, B, 1, 2. So you can say in zone A3 or whatever. So let's see. If I go to sheet size here, and I go in, change that to like a C. You can see that.
Oh.
So if I'm talking about the drawing to someone, I can say, look in zone 4B, and then I know look right here. Or 2B, so I'd look right here. So 2B, right in this area. So it's just a way of identifying the part of the drawing you're talking about when you're on the phone with someone, or in a note, or an email or something. And so that is how we change paper sizes. So remember I said usually we'll be using B size, but on the assignment today I do have you going in and changing one of the sheets to an A. So your views stay the same, the sheet size changes, now you can go and edit things.